Hello, my name is Tony Beers, and this is Movie Grades.
And just like the movies, we play out our last scene.
Hey everybody, Tony Beers here again, and I'm joined with
Robin. The RK Stud Kratzer.
and in this episode of Movie Grades, we're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Peter Quill is abducted by aliens at a young age. 20 years later, he is now a thief sent to steal a mysterious orb. Soon, he finds out that the orb is wanted by many people. He learns that if the orb falls into the wrong hands, it'll mean the destruction of the galaxy. It's up to Peter and a ragtag team of colorful criminals he meets along the way to save the galaxy.
And this definitely will have spoilers, because there's things in this movie we gotta talk about. What I thought was bad.
Okay.
Howard the Duck. Now, he's in the end credits scene at the very end, and I love that they have Howard the Duck. I think this is probably my favorite end of the credits scene I've ever seen in Marvel movies, just because it was so unexpected. You know, they just threw Howard the Duck in there, and he makes a little joke, and I think it's funny, and I think it's great. The one thing that I thought was bad about it, he looked way too cartoony, in my opinion. I thought that the original Howard the Duck movie, Howard the Duck looked better. He looked more realistic, but this one looked goofy and weird. What's your opinion on that?
Okay, well for me that's a good bad to bring up. I stayed throughout the movie and of course, you know, it's a Marvel movie, so there's stuff at the end. Why people keep getting up, I don't know. That's another bad too.
That's another bad, yeah.
But
that's their own fault. I mean, let them go. I don't really care.
But when I saw Howard, I'm like, and he connects with this. How? For me, it was a bad wait. Okay, cool, Howard the Duck. Okay, fine. But yeah, you're right. He did look weird.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it has more to do with the comic book look than the 80s movie look.
Right, I agree with you there. I see what they're going for. It just looked bad to me, in my opinion. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. But
as compared to the CGI raccoon.
Yeah, exactly. Next to Rocket, who looks completely realistic, it seemed out of place. This is another bad thing. I thought that the humor, I liked the humor. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a little too adult for a PG-13 movie. What do you think?
I thought it was just fine. I didn't find no problem with the jokes, you know.
Okay.
Other than Chris Pratt, you know, doing his little put the finger up and down.
Which I was surprised, you know, in the trailer they censored it in the trailer, but in the movie they don't censor it at all. Which
well, you have to censor that type of stuff for TV.
Exactly, but you know, so that's why I was kind of surprised. That's one thing that he gives the finger. There's a couple swear words here and there. There's a scene where he talks about, you know, if you know, I think Glamoria says this looks so dirty, and he's like, well, wait if you see it when they show a black light under it, you know,
yeah,
and stuff like that. I mean, he, you know, towards the end, he's, you know, like I said, it's I thought it was funny. But I'm not sure. It was kind of really pushing R, in my opinion. I mean, like he says, at the end he says, I'm not a dick. You know, I'm not 100% a dick. And and John C. Reilly's like, I don't know anybody that's 100% a dick. And stuff. Like I said, I thought it was funny. I just thought it was a little too much for a PG-13. At the very beginning of the movie, like I said, spoilers, his mom dies of cancer. And she gives him a present and a card, and we don't see what this present is to the very end of the movie, which, you know, whatever. But
that was how I figured that they were going with that.
Oh, you did?
I thought, yes.
Okay.
It would be crucial afterwards.
My point is that he had this present for 20 years, so it didn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't he open it for 20 years? Why does he choose to open it now? That didn't make sense to me. What do you think?
I think it made more sense to me because, you know, he really wasn't. Star-Lord really wasn't a good person, really, until after the fight with the villain, and
Yeah, okay.
he started growing up a little bit because I saw that evolution of that character through the whole movie.
Right.
In fact, all the characters were strong. I think
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe he was just mad at her for dying because of the cancer, and you know,
Yeah, as a little kid, yeah.
right, and he held that anger in for so long. And he didn't know how to really love anybody from that. You know, always being for
okay.
yourself.
Right.
Guard yourself very.
Yeah, he had such a tragic life. So yeah, all the characters had a tragic life, and including Peter himself. So you're saying he kept himself. So he was so guarded, and they say this in the movie that none of them had any friends because they're so guarded, and you're saying that's why he didn't open the present.
Right.
Okay, I see that now, but it didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Next thing is Ronan. I felt Ronan was kind of a
Weak.
villain, yeah. So
Easily defeatable, yeah.
I don't think it was easily defeatable as much as he was just there to move the plot along. Like he was there to be the bad guy. Like his motivations and stuff was kind of boring, and I was like,
He was a toady for someone else, though.
Yeah, but still, but he was the main villain in this movie.
Yes,
so
he was.
So they should treat him like a main villain, and I don't think he quite was. Okay, the next thing is Drex. He is supposed to be the strong guy of the group. He's getting his butt kicked throughout this entire movie.
He was, but that's quite alright. I just felt like his emotions carried him too much to the point of where he was getting his butt kicked.
Oh,
because he wanted to be the big bad guy and beat everyone up and
right.
avenge his wife and daughter.
Right. You think that his emotions got to him, so that's why he wasn't at his peak.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So I was just thinking, though, he can't even beat Ronan. How is he gonna expect to beat Thanos? That's what I had a problem with. I wanted to ask you about what you thought of, like, the 80s reference.
The 80s references was good.
Uh-huh.
But what worked for me also was the 70s song soundtrack for the movie.
Yeah.
I thought it worked.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised. I'm like, alright, this kind of fits.
Yeah. That's just a personal preference to me. I would prefer more 80s music than 70s music, but what they had was pretty decent. What do you think of the acting?
Everyone did their part. I liked how everyone got in the character. Nothing wrong with Chris Pratt. Nothing wrong with Zoe Saldana.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with Bradley Cooper voicing Rocket.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Dave Bautista as Drax. He did so good. Everyone played their role. Everyone had their minute to shine.
Right.
Everyone had a story that you could somehow relate to.
Yeah.
Everyone grew in the movie.
Well, yeah, I wanted to ask you about Batista. You're the wrestling fan. What did you think of him?
He actually did better than what I thought he would.
Yeah.
I thought he would be one of the weaker ones. I was true in some way.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that I was asking about Batista because he really surprised me because he's a wrestler. And most wrestlers aren't that great as actors. And this is his first movie, I believe.
Second, Man with the Iron Fist, yes.
I think that
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either. He really impressed me. I wasn't expecting him to be good at all, and he's not the best actor in here by far, but for being a wrestler and for being one of his early works, I thought it was really good. So yeah, I really like that little character trait of him that he didn't get metaphors, he took everything literally. So it made him seem, different without being dumb, if that makes sense.
I got it.
What was your opinion on Thanos?
I was surprised that they even had him in as long as they did in the movie, but I will admit that scene they were talking to him and his back was to him and then he turned around and talked, that was a geek out moment for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Nebula, what did you think of Nebula?
Thanos' daughter. Karen Gillan portrayed her. Everyone knows her best is Amy Pond from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
She could play a baddie. I was impressed.
You were?
I mean, all the actors really tried to do their best in the movie. I cannot complain with any single performances.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I brought up Nebula is because I thought she was my favorite villain. She was the most interesting. She had the most interesting look, and she was acted pretty well, and the chick was hot. Vin Diesel as Groot. What do you think?
Knowing that Groot was limited, it was just his voice, because obviously Groot was CGI. He did as much as he could with just them lines that he could say.
Yeah. My favorite Vin Diesel roles is where he just does the voice and he barely says anything. Guardians of the Galaxy and Iron Giant, which I love. He should make a career out of voice acting. You say he only has the 3 words to say, but it's how he says it that really brings a group to life. Even though it's only 3 words, you kind of know what he's saying. I thought he brought like a lot of emotion to it. At the end, where he finally changed it up and said, "We are Groot." I was about to tear up. I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
yes."
Oh, you big bitch. No, but yeah, I found that scene touching too. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, so I thought he was really good. Action.
The movie was very action-packed. I was really surprised with all the action scenes. For me, it moved the movie along, and it made the movie seem like it was shorter than what it was.
Fast-paced.
It felt like you were in the theater for only an hour.
Yeah. The action in the movie is excellent. It's like the best action I've seen this summer, probably.
What did we say about what movies have to have? Fun.
Fun. And this movie had tons of fun. That's the best word to describe it, is fun. Special effects, what do you think?
They did really well with the special effects. When they announced they were doing this and that Rocket Raccoon was going to be it, I'm like, a CGI raccoon, talking raccoon with guns isn't going to work. I'm wrong, people.
Yeah.
The raccoon works. The tree works.
Yeah.
The CGI makeup works. The CGI special effects works. There were times in the 3D version, I'm like, okay.
Special effects, excellent. Can't get it much better. But on to 3D, I thought the 3D was excellent. What do you think?
I love the 3D.
3D was great. It was kind of one of the better 3Ds I've seen.
It is. It really is. And I'm glad because I was like, I like 3D. Watch Tony not like 3D. You even like it. So I'm like, damn.
Well, coming off of Planet of the Apes, or Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, it had terrible 3D, and this one just blew it out of the water. It was fantastic.
Everything was when you were in space and they were floating in that little celestial mining colony.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, check that out. Look at that raccoon.
Yeah.
It's really real. That tree. Groot. I actually can believe there's a Groot.
Okay. So I think we should wrap this up. We'll give our final grades. Robin, you go first.
Okay, well, acting I liked, story I liked, the fact that it was a Marvel movie, of course, was good. The fact that the movie had you on the edge of your seat, the fact the movie had fun, the fact that, there was that geek moment for me with Thanos in it, even though you didn't geek out. Screw you then, buddy.
I liked it. I just didn't. Oh my God, it's Thanos. But go ahead.
The action, overall fun. It's not quite up there with Avengers for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it is a Marvel movie is the fact that you had a raccoon in a tree that worked.
Yeah.
It is a solid B+.
B+. Okay, good. I like the movie. A lot of people are raving about this movie. They are giving it, the best movie of the year and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, but I have to say, it's not the best movie of the year. It's really good though. It's really good. I'm not gonna give it a low grade or anything like that, but I wasn't blown away by it. I have to say, I still feel that of the Marvel movies, like Avengers is still my top one. I think Captain America: Winter Soldier is right underneath the Avengers. And this one is somewhere in the middle. I don't know, but I'll give it credit because, like you said, we always say the most important thing to us, well, at least me, is that I had fun, and I did have fun. I was very entertained. But just about every movie I saw this year, I think, was better than Guardians of the Galaxy, except for Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was crap. But this has just been a really good year because it's hard to say which one's the best because they're all really that good. I would say one of the best things about this movie is that it feels like a comic book. It feels exactly like reading a comic book. A little bit less than Avengers. I think Avengers is the movie that seems most like a comic book of any comic book movie to me, and this one is really right up there too. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's not on Earth. We're in space and we're in like a entirely different universe. So I think that's its advantage, and they went for it. You know, they, like you said, they had a talking tree and a talking raccoon, and it worked, and they had the balls to do something like this. You know, to just go for it, and I think that's what the biggest thing that movies are missing nowadays is we won't have to be realistic. Oh, they won't buy it if it's too far out there. People won't get it. I mean, people have been saying that people won't accept a Wonder Woman movie because they wouldn't believe that a woman comes from a magical, mystical land. And Marvel says, "Screw you, hippies." We're gonna stick a talking tree, and a talking raccoon in our movies, and people will buy it, and they did, and people are loving it.
You know what I could even love about the movie is if somehow they lost and Ronan took the stone and gave it to Thanos, and that would even work for me.
Okay.
I could easily see them losing.
I think Thanos will get the Infinity Stone eventually.
Yeah.
But they wanted the movie to end on a happy note and to have the good guys win. So.
Well, sometimes you need to take a chance, and some movies don't have to have a happy ending.
Right. No, I agree with you.
And this is one of the ones I could easily have seen is not having a happy ending.
Okay. Again, you're saying take risks, you know, so they would be taking risks. But finally, to give my final grade, I'll give it a solid B. Just a nice B, and I think that's perfect for this movie. It's not the best. It's not average. It's above average, but it's just not great. So solid B.
Okay.
What did you give it?
A B plus.
B plus. So. I'm Tony Beers.
RK Stud, Robin Kratzer.
We'll see you next time.
Toxic Pop has a new Facebook page. Like it to see pictures and keep informed about our upcoming events and videos. A link is in the description. Go to www.facebook.com/toxicpop1.